He's like an excited little minion bringing big news to Gru. It's like, Mr. President, stop the proceedings. I've got a bulletin. And if you thought that was insulting, wait till those people hear what you said about Donald Trump.
Did you know that the guy who skipped the State of the Union address might soon be giving addresses to the United Nations? Oh, how the turntables. Oh, before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Jimmy Kimmel once joked that Rubio would test positive for Donald Trump's butt. Now, he might be Trump's mouthpiece to the world. Irony, thy name is politics.
Donald Trump likes to sue people. He should sue whoever did that to his face.
He couldn't be elected dog catcher.
There is no way we are going to allow a con artist to take over the conservative movement, and Donald Trump is a con artist.
Remember when Trump called Rubio Little Marco? Well, now he might be calling him Mr. Secretary. Talk about a growth spurt. Back in 2016, Trump and Rubio were at each other's throats during the Republican primaries. It was like watching two cats fighting over the last can of tuna. Trump mocked Rubio's height, calling him Little Marco and even suggesting he needed a booster seat. Rubio fired back, making fun of Trump's small hands and spray tan. It was a real political playground brawl, folks. But now, rumors are swirling that these two might become BFFs, or at least work buddies. It's like that time in high school when the class bully suddenly wanted to be your lab partner. Awkward. Their insults were so cringeworthy, they make your dad's jokes sound like comedy gold. Trump once said Rubio couldn't get elected dog catcher in Florida, while Rubio called Trump a con artist and joked about his small hands. Ouch. But hey, in politics, yesterday's enemy is today's ally. It's like a soap opera, but with less attractive people and more terrible hairstyles.
He has conned the people of Florida into voting for him.
If he hadn't inherited $200 million, you know where Donald Trump would be right now? Selling watches in Manhattan.
Rubio, total lightweight, and little mouth on him, bing, bing, bing.
So what could have caused this unlikely partnership? Did they bond over their mutual love for Twitter rants? Did they realize they both look good in red ties? Nope. The truth is a bit less exciting and a lot more practical. Trump needs experienced politicians in his cabinet like a fish needs water. And Rubio? Well, he's got the experience Trump desperately needs. It's like when you reluctantly team up with the smart kid for a group project because you know you can't pass without them. But here's the million-dollar question. Can Rubio really stomach working for Trump? I mean, can you imagine the awkward small talk at cabinet meetings? So Marco, remember when I said you were too short to see over the steering wheel? Good times, right? Yikes. From playground insults to international incidents, Rubio's certainly upped his game. But here's the kicker. His China fixation might just be his golden ticket to the big leagues. Who knew being a thorn in Beijing's side could lead to a seat at Trump's table? Turns out, our boy Marco's been playing a real-life game of poke the dragon with China. As the top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee, he's been yelling, "China bad," so loudly you'd think they stole his lunch money. And guess what? China noticed. They actually put Rubio in timeout, slapping him with sanctions. Talk about a gold star for annoying a superpower. Rubio's not just talk though. He's been busy cooking up laws to give Chinese tech companies a financial wedgie. He's even gone after TikTok, claiming it's stealing our data faster than teens can learn new dance moves. It's like he's trying to win the most likely to start a trade war superlative. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Trump's no fan of China either. Remember all that China virus talk? Well, Rubio's anti-China crusade fits Trump's rhetoric like a MAGA hat on a bald eagle. If Rubio becomes Secretary of State, he'd probably approach China negotiations with all the subtlety of a bull in a China shop. See what I did there? But hold your horses, folks. Being Secretary of State isn't just about picking fights with global superpowers. It's also about, you know, diplomacy. You know, that thing where you smile and shake hands even when you want to flip tables. Yeah, that might be a problem for our Marco. Sure, Rubio knows his foreign policy stuff. He can probably name more Chinese provinces than most of us can name states. But can he play nice with others? Can he resist the urge to tweet Winnie the Pooh memes at President Xi? These are the real questions, people. So as we watch this political soap opera unfold, remember, just because you're good at starting fires doesn't mean you're the best person to put them out. But hey, who knows? Maybe Rubio will surprise us all and become the next Henry Kissinger. Or maybe he'll just end up as Trump's personal fortune cookie reader. Only time will tell. Trump's personal fortune cookie reader might need a new crystal ball, because if Rubio becomes Secretary of State, he'll have to predict more than just his boss's next tweet. He'll need to see into the hearts of world leaders. But here's the million-dollar question. Can a guy who couldn't even predict Trump's rise to power really be trusted with global diplomacy? Remember when Rubio was all about building walls and keeping people out? Yeah, those were the days. He was so tough on immigration, you'd think the border personally insulted his mother. Rubio was practically yelling, "Build the wall," in his sleep, but now he might have to trade in his hard hat for a fancy diplomatic tie. Being Secretary of State isn't exactly like hosting a tea party with your stuffed animals. You can't just tell other countries to sit down and shut up. It's more like trying to get a bunch of cats to agree on where to order dinner. Rubio's going to have to learn how to shake hands and smile at people he probably wants to send back where they came from. Let's not forget Rubio's greatest hits on immigration. He once said we needed a border wall so tall it would make the Great Wall of China look like a picket fence. And remember when he supported that 2013 bill to give undocumented immigrants a path to citizenship? Well, he backpedaled on that faster than a clown on a unicycle. Talk about a flip-flop that would make even a fish jealous. Now, imagine Rubio trying to smooth talk his way through international negotiations. It's like expecting a bull to become a China shop owner overnight. Can he resist the urge to tell the Mexican president to pay for the wall? Will he be able to talk to world leaders without asking to see their green cards first? The real kicker is how Rubio is going to handle China. He's been poking that dragon so much, it's surprised he hasn't been turned into a fortune cookie himself. His aggressive stance might work great for Twitter wars, but in the world of diplomacy, it's about as subtle as a neon sign in a library. So can Rubio transform from a wall-building, immigration-bashing senator into a smooth-talking, handshaking diplomat? It's like asking a pit bull to become a poodle. But hey, stranger things have happened in politics. Who knows? Maybe Rubio will surprise us all and become the next Henry Kissinger. Or maybe he'll just end up passing out MAGA hats at the UN. Only time will tell. Hold on to your Mickey Mouse ears, folks. Trump's eyeing the Sunshine State like it's the last slice of key lime pie. But here's the kicker. Is picking Rubio as his right-hand man a genius move to lock down Florida? Or is it just gonna leave voters feeling like they got stuck on Space Mountain? Let's face it, Florida's not just a vacation spot for snowbirds and Disney fanatics. It's a political goldmine with 29 juicy electoral votes up for grabs. That's more votes than you can shake a palm tree at. And Trump knows it. He snagged Florida in 2020 by a 3.4% margin, which in election terms is like winning a hot dog eating contest by half a wiener. Now imagine Trump and Rubio, the dynamic duo of Florida politics, teaming up. It's like mixing orange juice with, well, more orange juice. Both these guys are pretty popular with Florida Republicans. Trump's got a 52% thumbs up, while Rubio's sitting pretty at 48%. Not too shabby. But wait, there's more. Florida's been changing faster than a chameleon at a disco. There's been a big influx of Hispanic voters, especially Cuban Americans in South Florida. And guess what? They tend to lean more Republican than a palm tree in a hurricane. This could be great news for a Trump-Rubio ticket, since both of them have strong ties to the Cuban American community. It's like they're speaking their language. Literally. Some smart people in fancy suits did a study and found out that picking a running mate from your home state can boost your chances of winning that state by up to 5%. That's like getting an extra scoop of ice cream on your cone for free. But hold your horses, or should I say hold your alligators. This Florida love fest might not be all sunshine and oranges. Some party poopers are warning that Rubio's past trash talk about Trump during the 2016 campaign could turn off some diehard Trump fans. It's like bringing up your partner's ex at a wedding. Not a smooth move. And let's not forget about those middle-of-the-road voters. They might look at Rubio's tough guy act on immigration and foreign policy and think, whoa there, cowboy. This could split the vote faster than a Florida thunderstorm, especially among those pesky independents. So as we wrap this up, let's ponder. Is Trump's Florida strategy a stroke of genius, or just another wacky theme park ride? Only time will tell if this political roller coaster ends with cheers or nausea. Stay tuned, folks. So what's the deal with Trump and Rubio teaming up? On one hand, it's like putting ketchup on ice cream. Weird, but maybe it'll work. Rubio brings some political know-how and Florida love, while Trump brings, well, Trump. But on the flip side, it's about as stable as a house of cards in a hurricane. Will American politics keep getting crazier, or is this the wake-up call we need? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. If these two do team up, Trump's gonna need a step stool for those official photos. Can you imagine? It'll be like a giraffe posing with a chihuahua. Talk about a political shortcoming.